So traders, there's probably going to be a bit of a sucker rally coming soon in one of the markets right now, and this actually happens a lot, and I really want to sort of share this pattern with you to sort of stop you getting in from false moves and false breakouts, and it's going to really sort of help you with that there. Plus also, guys, I'm going to be looking at obviously the gold and silver right now, what's going on with them right now as well too. The mining sector starting to really roll over here, and it's something we really need to keep focus on. And same for the indices as well too. And there's a lot of things that's been happening right now that surprised me when it comes to indices. So I'm going to be talking about that, plus some other things as well too, plus possibly also the oil as well too. Oil still could be getting ready for that big downside to come. So that's what I want to start off with today's video. So the first thing I want to start off with is what we're looking at right now, and that is good old Bitcoin. And here's the thing, okay? Whenever we are trading the markets, we can only use technical analysis and how these markets truly operate in a fundamental level, okay? And so what I mean by that is this, is that if we're trading the markets, we're looking to trade, right? If you're a trader, okay, a trader is not, I'm gonna buy Bitcoin today and hold it for 6 months. That's not a trader, right? You're an investor, you're buy and hold. That's not a trade. A trader is, oh, I'm looking to get in, I'm looking to get out, I'm looking to get in, I'm looking to get out, right? That's a trader. You're trading the markets. You're looking for patterns to get in, looking for patterns to get out. So when it comes down to the overall Bitcoin right now, is one thing that happens across the board when it comes to these markets here is this. Whenever we see, firstly, check out this here, right? Check out this. And this is I'm always, one thing I want you to do as well too is whenever you trade, if you're always looking at the daily charts for your entries in the markets, let me see if I can fix this up here. There we go. If you're looking for your daily entries on the daily charts, always be looking at the weekly chart for the overall true picture, because that's going to help you when it comes to what's going on here, okay? And the reason why I'm bringing that up here is because look at this here. If we just look at how the markets work, and one of the big things, one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of traders make is that a lot of traders they throw their opinions out why they believe Bitcoin's going to be worth $1 million, and they think it's just going to go straight to $1 million. Now it could be worth $1 million in the next 10 years, right? But if we just bring it back and be real about how these markets truly work, right? Because we want the truth, don't we? We want the truth about how these markets really operate, so we can make good decisions. And this is where a lot of people get sucked in by what's probably going to come when it comes to Bitcoin right now. And so looking at this overall Bitcoin chart, and not just Bitcoin, but any market, how does it really work? Whenever we make very big vertical moves to the upside, right, we end up getting what? The market goes in waves, doesn't it? It waves up, waves down, waves up, wave up, wave down, wave up, wave down, wave up, wave down. Right, and look at this here, right? And if you think about these waves here, I like to use these waves as like energy fields, right? So look, check this out. When we're looking at these markets, I like to look at this as an energy field, right? An energy. So whenever the market's going sideways, I like this as building energy, because if you look at this here, whenever the market goes sideways, to me it's building energy, and then we break out, we're using the energy, okay? Sideways, building energy, and then we break out, we start to use the energy. Sideways, build the energy, break out, then we use the energy, right? We're breaking out. Because sideways, what is happening sideways? Right? We're not really doing much, are we? But then to move the market, guess what? There's going to be, buying it, buying it, buying it, buying it, buying. Right? There's a lot of energy now using to be buying it up. So we can see it goes up through here, and then we go sideways through here, right? This is now building energy through here, sideways. And now we've released the energy. So now we've released the energy. Think about this as an energy source, right? We've had a very big move up. So we've used a lot of energy. And if we're looking at this from a tank, right? A tank, all right? And if you look at these energy sources, as in like the starting to the ends and so on and so forth, check this out. I always liken it and this is where I think a lot of traders can get it wrong when it comes to their own trading, is they're getting in at the wrong time, right? And this is where a lot of traders are having losing trades because they're not getting in at the right time. And if you think about this here, right, this low down the bottom here, I always like to say as this is 0, right? This is 0, and this is now 100, okay? And that is like how much of the tank have we used the energy or fuel. Now, if I use it from a fuel perspective, right, we now have we've gone sideways through here. Right here, we have a full tank of fuel. It is at 100, it is full. And up here is 0. There's nothing left, right? There's nothing left in the tank. We need to go and now pull over, have a bit of a refueling to get going again, right? And as you can see, this is how markets operate in any single market, okay? And the reason why this is so important for us to understand it, because this is going to help us, one, identify good opportunities, two, have the opportunity of having a big move, and three, stop us from getting into bad trades that's likely to maybe move a little bit and then completely fail on us. So if this is a full tank of fuel, up here we're using energy, using the fuel, and we get to a point in time where what? We've just completely run out of fuel, and we need to have a bit of a pullback through here to then go, okay, I need to go refuel. Sometimes it's the pullback, sometimes it's the sideways movement, right? And as you can see, it's up and then down and up and down and up, okay? So the reason why I'm bringing this up here is this is, again, all markets work like this. And this is what makes my trading so good in the way that I'm looking, because whenever I'm looking for opportunities, I'm looking for opportunities around this point, probably this point right here. They're probably the best opportunities I can look for. After it's gone, same thing through here, and then possibly even all through here as well too, right? They're like the bottom 50% or more. So when I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, we've made a very big move to the upside, right? We've made a really big move to the upside. So to me, we're probably going to continue having another move. I actually originally thought, if I bring this daily chart up here, this is the daily chart, I originally thought we'd actually get a bit of a rollover here. I was wrong about that. We didn't get the rollover, and now we're pushing back to the upside. What's probably likely going to happen here, guys, is we're probably going to push to the upside. But remember what I said about the weekly chart, right? The weekly chart is telling us we've made a very big move. So if we're probably going to have another move, but it's probably, if we're looking at the tank, right? The tank. I always say it like this. Say down the bottom here is, again, this is 100 through here. The tank is fuel. And just say up here around about 110 is probably going to be around 0. All right, I'm giving the rough estimate here. Here, you've used a lot of fuel, and your tank's at now 20, right? So you've only got 20% left before you completely run out of fuel. And what a lot of traders will do is that they'll see this pause, and then they'll say, oh, it's moving again, let's get on. Again, understand how markets work. And this is about giving us the best chances of having a successful trade, right? Understand how markets work on a deepest level. And that is, after a really big move for a while, we're going to get that correction. We're going to get that pullback. We're going to get that, at least that sideways phase, aren't we? So trying to get in now, what are you doing? This is still going up overall. So a lot of traders will try to get in here, try to capture that last 20%, and then the market might give us a really good correction, maybe a 50% or something like that, and then it goes from there. And this is where, again, a lot of traders go through here, right? So again, traders, what you want to do is you just want to see how markets truly work. A lot of the times if you're a long Bitcoin, you don't want to hear what I just said, right? So you're going to do whatever you can to not listen. John, now shut up, John. It's going to go to 200. It's going to go to 150,000. What are you talking about? And then you go through there. So, and again, this foundations to that analysis is exactly how I'm looking at all markets to see what's going on and what's happening from that point from there. So let's go look at now gold and silver right now. And once again, this is the same thing for, again, remember I said before about waves up, waves down, waves up, waves down, right? If you look at all markets, when you can start to understand this foundation across all markets, you'll start to pinpoint much better entries. So I like to use the daily chart for my entries and hold it. For me personally, I'm trading half an hour per day. And what I mean by trading is I'm not getting in and getting out in half an hour a day. No, I'm getting in, I'm getting into positions and holding it for a week or two, trying to capitalize on a big move over that few weeks, right? I'm not looking to trade 100 times or 20 times or 10 times a week. I'm like trying to trade maybe once or twice a week. Or should I say a few times a month. But that few times a month, I'm trying to capitalize on a big move to the upside. Makes sense? So that's how I personally trade, but I use scans and so on and so forth to help me do this. And that's what my trading is, guys, right? And if you'd like to see my actual real equity curve, you can go to getjohnshelp.com. You can see my equity curve there. And if you do need some help for 2025, guys, that's, as you can see, it's all this understanding here, plus the emotions and so on and so forth. So if you do really need some help, guys, then make sure you apply for the actual coaching program. Again, if you go to getjohnshelp.com, that's me. The inner circle is about me showing you everything that you need to know that goes into an amazing high quality setup, right? Because there's a lot of guessing around this, but then also I'm with you every day for 12 months, holding your hand through the emotions, cutting your losses short, letting your profits run, how to identify a good trade, what's a good trade that's likely to make a big move, and so much more. Humility, ego, fear, all those emotions are going to come up. That's why I'm with you every day for a whole 12 months through 2025 to make sure that you are getting this right. Make sense? So if you've struggled this year and you do know you need some help, then go to getjohnshelp.com and you can fill out the application form, and I'll call you to see if you're a good fit for that inner circle program there. You can see all the details over there as well too. So the purpose of me saying this here is, once again, traders, what is the foundations of how markets work, just like Bitcoin, right? And once we can understand this truth, then we don't want to fight it. We just want to go with it, right? And we can make really good trading decisions. And so as you can see, look at this here. The market will go up for a bit and then we get the pullback. And then we go up for a bit, then we get the pullback. And we go up for a bit and then we get the pullback, right? It's up, pullback, up, pullback, up, pullback, up, pullback, right? We see the flow of markets, and once you can understand that one simple technique of how markets flow, how they truly work, we can, get ready for opportunities. And so like, for example, for me, I was getting ready for an opportunity, and I traded gold as we're starting to break out here. Guess what I was doing? I was looking for a trade. And then also through here, what did I do? I actually took another trade through here. I didn't trade through this bit here, and I didn't trade through this bit here. Why? Because it's refueling. And when you get in these refueling phases, check out this. Whenever you get in the refueling phases, you end up getting a lot of volatility. That's what's happening with gold right now, right? So the big thing about gold is that I don't know exactly what's going to come next, but what I am really confident about is we're going to get a lot of volatility. And this is where a lot of trades are going to get chopped up. And one of the biggest things that I do say, and I help my clients all the time and really want to share with you here, is understand what phase are we in. Are we in an energy building phase, or are we in an energy using phase? Because an energy building phase is volatile. It's 50-50. It's no probability at all. This is an energy building phase. This is an energy building phase. We're in an energy building phase right now, right? And what is an energy building phase? It's volatile. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down and get chopped up, chopped up, chopped up, chopped up? And what we don't want to do, we don't want to get chopped up, right? This is where a lot of traders right now, right, even a few days ago, were saying, the bull market's continuing in gold. I'm a very big long-term bull in gold, but right now we're in that phase. If you're a trader looking for short-term moves, a couple of days, so on and so forth, by looking at the daily charts, then one of the big things I do say is it's important to understand what type of phase we're in or we're almost getting into. And this is once again the same with Bitcoin, right? What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin we had a really big move, and right now we're almost getting into, because we've actually already made a big move, right? So we know very, very soon we're going to go what? Into the energy building phase. We go into the 3 different phases. So the best trades for me when I trade is I like to wait for a really good energy building phase, and then when it starts to break out through here and through here, guess what I'm doing? Now I'm looking for opportunities. I'm not looking for opportunities through here and through here and through here. Why? Because it's volatile. It's sideways, it's up, it's down, where there's no probability at all. And this is, remember, one of the big things about trading is not only identifying a good opportunity in the market and how to do that, but then also knowing the times when to step away so you don't get chewed up. If you can understand that foundation, you're going to start to really limit the losses you have because you're not getting in at the wrong time. And that's where, like, when it comes to my actual trading system, how I'm utilizing these phases, but then also the moving averages to tell me what type of phase we're in. And the best thing I do say is that whenever the moving average is trending up, we're in that phase, trending up, we're in that phase, right? So right now, a lot of volatility, and I would expect that now for the rest of this year when it comes to the gold market, up and down and up and down and up and down, right? A lot of volatility through here. And because once again, we're just at that, once again, as you can see here, we're just at that energy building phase on that weekly chart from there. let's go look at silver for me, right? And silver actually has been, it's just been one of those things, hasn't it? It's been one of those markets that silver's been, and this is where we never want to get in based off what we think and so on and so forth, because look at this here, right? Like it tried to break up here and it just failed, and it's like, oh my goodness, this thing. And now look what's happening with my moving averages, right? The moving average is like a momentum indicator. And look at this here, we're going up, going up, going up, going up, and now we're starting to flatten out. That's like this up here, right? Up, 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 and now we flatten out. What is that telling you? This moving average, the 24 moving average in the weekly chart, is telling you what? That the overall trend is starting to run out of steam. Now, there are some times whenever the moving average does become strong, or it is strong, right? So as you can see here, look at this here. Whenever the market is still, whenever the moving average is still strong, and we get this sideways period, guess what we get? We end up getting a follow through, right? But what happens when the moving average starts to flatten out? That's when it's like, oh. And that's where guys right now, trading gold or silver, long-term investing is different, okay? But trading gold and silver to me is like eject, eject, eject. Like I'm not looking for any opportunities in gold and silver right now because there is none, right? Step away, be patient, wait for the next opportunity. I would rather step aside for a month, let this gyrations do its thing out of gold and silver, and then suddenly 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road, we go through the energy building phase, we go through these gyrations, and then we start to trend again, and then bam, right? Then I'm looking for more opportunities. And so that's one of the really important things that I say about gold and silver from there. Let's go look at oil from here. And one of the things about oil is I've been seeing this thing having a really big drop to the downside, like a really big crash. But there's also something called waiting for the trigger, right? There's the setup and then there's the trigger from there. And this is where a lot of traders get it wrong when they trade in the markets, is they're not waiting for confirmation. Right, they're not waiting for that time to say yes, right? And the thing for me, what's made my trading so successful, is I wait for the setup, but then I have the exact entry candle to get in on, right? So if I say oil is likely to crash, oil is going to crash, I first need to see the trigger to say it's now likely to happen is what? To me, it is a breaking below this significant support level here. We haven't gotten that yet, but we are still getting the setup here. And this is where a lot of traders say, oh, he said oil's going to crash and it hasn't crashed yet. That's right, it's taking a lot of time. That's what the market will do to you, right? It's like my thoughts on this here could be right, but it's now taking time, but we haven't got the trigger yet. So for me, I haven't been short oil because I haven't got my entry candle or my entry bar yet. Make sense? So if a lot of you guys are like, oh, he said oil's going to go down, so let me go short. That's the wrong thing to do, right? And remember, I have my setup. Oh, oil's likely to go down. Now I need my entry candle, and then that's when you can start to really, really increase the odds of you doing really, really well. So, but on the big picture, look what's still happening through here. We're still getting a lot of gyrations. We haven't got a break below this support level yet. Once we do, then that's when we're probably going to get the trigger on the downside. But oil, if you're trading oil for the last month, you have been getting chewed up big time, right? Look at this here. This is the oil market for the last month here. Absolutely chewed up big time in the markets from here. Really, 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 really chewed up from there. So that's what I do see from that perspective there, guys. Let's go check out that's gold and silver from there. Let's go check out the indices. So let's go check out King Russell. Well, it's not King Russell anymore, right? It's actually King Russell has actually had a breakdown, and this is the same thing here, right? I was expecting a break. I was expecting a really big move to come out of Russell, but I never traded that because I don't trade based off just, oh, I think that's going to come. What am I waiting for? And this is where I've always said, and a lot of traders get angry about this. I say, if we do get this, right? We need to set up first. This is where, guys, if you want to start to increase the success rate, we say, okay, it's setting up. Now I need my entry candle. Not it's setting up, let's get in now. There's a big differences, right? And like, for example, here, I didn't get into, I have not gotten into Russell here. I recently got out of my Russell position and I made like 85% return. I was in a trade through here with my Russell. So I recently got out of my Russell trade, made 85% return. Now I'm looking to re-get back into the Russell, but I'm waiting for my entry candle first, right? So we are getting a bit of a pullback here. Now the trend is still up to the upside, but what's happening here with the Russell is we need to wait for the entry candle first, right? It's so important. Now let me show you what I mean here. So if I bring up, let's go to this one right here, right? So what I mean by entry candle, if I look at a template of what I'm looking for out of all the markets, if I bring this up to right here, right? So as you can see here, this is a template of what I'm looking for me. And again, guys, I want you to have a high win-loss ratio, and I want you to be able to actually have a high probability of actually making a profit, right? So what we do here is the setup for me is this here, right? The setup is the sideways movement to a strong moving average. See that there? So we're getting a sideways movement and the moving average is trending strongly to the upside. That's the setup. Then when we get the entry candle, when it breaks out, this is now my entry trigger. Because when that happens, now we're likely to see a movement on the downside, right? A movement on the upside. That's when we're now likely to start to see something like that from there, right? So if I show you an example, right through here, look at this here. What is this, right? There's the sideways movement. There's the strong moving average. There was the large bar breaking out, and then we started to move to the upside. Make sense? Here's another example from here. Same thing, right? Look at this here. Sideways movement. The moving average is coming up strong through there. There was the large bar breaking out, and we started to the upside, right? Now, again, guys, this is just how I trade. I'm not telling you this is the right way. What I am telling you is that when I consistently started following these types of setups, then I tend to have a really good year most of the time, right? And now I say most of the time throughout the entire year, right? If you go to getjohntop.com, you'll be able to see in my equity curve, you'll be able to see I've had periods of really big growth and periods of just really not much going on here, right? So, and the same for the flip side here, right? And what am I waiting for? My foundations is really simple. I'm looking for a sideways period, and then I'm looking for the moving average coming down strong. And then I'm looking for a breakout candle from there, right? And then I'm looking for the move to the upside. What does that look like? Here is one example from here, right? What do we have here? There's the moving average coming down from there. There's the side movement. There was the breakout candle, and there was a nice trade that actually lasted. This is the daily chart, so it lasted for about a week. That's a nice trade, right? Get in, hold it for a week, away we go, right? Here's another example here, right? Same thing. Actually, it's the same chart, but just squeezed up there, right? So, and I can show you so many examples from here. Here's another example here. This is a 1 hour chart, and it just works on all different types of markets here, right? So all these different things here. And then, so the purpose of me saying what I'm saying here, guys, if I go back to the Russell was setting up here, right? We've got the sideways movement, the strong moving average. But I'm not going to get in on that. What am I waiting for? I'm going to wait for the trigger, right? I need to wait for my confirmation, because when I get my confirmation, that's when that's when we're now likely to start the next move, right? So if I go to gold here, for example, I'll show you what I mean by gold. So look at this here, right? Let's do this here. So this is my last trade with gold, and again, it's just where it's pretty actually simple, guys, when you actually think about it and you look at it, right? When I traded gold, so what's gold here, right? I have the setup here, right? I'm basically teaching my trading system here. Right, what's the setup? The setup is sideways movement. Okay, and what do we have? This is actually a strong 24, right? And this is a 52 behind it, but it's a strong 24, right? So this is my last trade that I had in gold. Sideways movement, strong 24. So what am I looking for now? What I'm looking for is I'm now looking for the trigger to tell me we're now likely to be starting that move, because we never know when it's going to start, right? So getting in right now, it actually can do that. That actually can happen. So for me, I'm always waiting for that. Look at that, right? So if I bring my chart up now and I show you this here, this is where, guys, it's nothing new, right? And the more that you can be consistent with the trading setup, and this is where, like, if you ask any of my private clients, or if you are part of the coaching program, you'll know that by consistently following this really successful pattern, this is when your success rate you can really start to tip everything on the side of being positive, right? That's where my coaching program is so powerful. And again, you can see my actual results. But my coaching program is so powerful because I teach you this one setup here you get good at. But then it's also teaching you all the other stuff as well too. But if I go to this level through here, right, look at this here. So we got the setup, didn't we? Let's check this out here. Right? So if I bring this up to here, right, let's actually bring this over here, right? Da 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 da. Now, let me ask you a question. Does this pattern over here look like this? What did we get? We actually got the three steps, right? We got up and sideways. We have up and sideways. We have the moving average trending up strongly. We have the moving average trending up strongly. And we have the breakaway candle. And we have the breakaway candle. Does this trade here look like this here? Yes, right? So that's my entry time, right? And then I can start to use things like we can use the volume. But then I actually traded this one utilizing options on the GLD price, right? But this is it here. And then I can start to utilize things like the 9 moving average, right? And then guess what happened? Let me open this chart a bit more now for you. And then as you can see, we actually went sideways for a little bit. And then we actually started to make a nice, let's actually do this here. Right, so that was the breakout candle there. Stayed in. I'm always using the 9 moving average as my protective, sort of say, okay, I can stay in now. And then we did that, and we did that, and I think it was that day, this day right here is when I got out of the trade. So that's what is that? That's a trading opportunity. See what I'm saying here, guys? So whenever you're looking across these markets here, and I'm utilizing this from the perspective of Russell, right? Russell got the sideways movement. Russell got my setup, but I didn't get my confirmation candle, so I couldn't enter in. I was already long the Russell. I got out of my Russell for 85% return, so I still made a really nice return on it. But look what was happening here, right? We got this here on the Russell, didn't we? Again, this is for the why that I personally trade, guys. And as you can see how amazing this is, right? Sideways. I was waiting for what? The breakout candle here. We didn't get that, did we? No, we actually followed through. This is where we never want to jump the gun. I always want to wait for my confirmation candle, because my confirmation candle, and if I go to another example here as I show you, right, let's go back to here, right? Right, so this is another, let me take off all the moving averages because I've got so many moving averages on here. So we don't need the 9. I will keep the 52. The 52 is flat, but this one here was the 24, right? But what do we have here? We have, let me go to this one here, it had an up bar. And then we have this one. So it's slightly different, right? Slightly different. We had one more up bar, but I was looking for a breaking above this high here. But what do we have here? We had the up, and then we had the sideways, didn't we? We had the up, and we had the sideways. And as you can see, this breakaway bar, what is this breakaway bar? This breakaway bar is what? Breaking above the resistance level. That's the reason why it was breaking above the resistance level, and that was my confirmation candle there. Make sense? So, does this here look really similar to this bit here? There's the moving average coming up. There's the moving average coming up. See, it's the same thing, right? It's up. This is the trade that I took again just recently, right? And then, as you guys know, that if I just and we all know what's actually I'll just do this here, and look what's happened ever since there, right? That was the entry bar there. As I talked about, and look what's happened ever since. Nice move up. Now, I didn't capitalize on all that. I think I got in here and I got out up here somewhere. I think that still gave me around about, I think it was 70% return on that trade from memory, something like that anyway. But as you can see, and this is the big thing for you guys, right? I hope you can see, if you want to lay out the land of having a successful 2025, not only am I trying to share with you the times not only am I trying to share the times with you not to look for a trade because it's the wrong time, wrong phase. If we're part of the energy building phase, then we know there's a lot of volatility, right? We're not going to get chopped up. But then also, as you can see, the reason why my trading for me, and the reason why I personally get better and better and better each year, and my results get better and better and better each and every single year, because I'm not trading in based off hope, right? There's a lot of hope when you start to utilize things like fundamentals, employment, CPI, walls, so on and so forth, right? But I just showed you 2 trades here that look almost identical to each other. One was gold and one was CCL, right? And there's many, many, many other ones out there. And I promise you guys, if you actually want to start to tip the odds on your side of actually going to the positive curve, firstly, you need to be part of my coaching program, because I can really help you out when it comes to identification of a good trade. Remember, I do all this within half an hour a day. I identify the trade today, get in and hold it for a week, and then I have the opportunity, right? But then I'll be able to really help you and guide you through the emotions, right? So if you do know, if this sounds really good to you guys right now, then you need to apply for my coaching program, because I know I can really help you when it comes to that. Now, here's the really big thing here, okay? Here's the really big thing here. If you want, one thing that really sort of stop me from being in the negative side to tip it onto the positive side. One of the really big things for me was once I started consistently following a plan like this, then I started to become a master of these setups here, and then I stopped taking these bad trades that were likely to be losing trades. I started taking a lot more winning trades. Now I still have my losses, and there's times where I have 2 or 3 losses in a row because I take the wrong trade and so on and so forth. But I'm telling you right now, what I've just shared with you here, when it comes to the gold trade and the CCL trade, I'm telling you right now, if you just followed that setup there, it's an amazing, high quality, high powerful setup. Now, there's a win-loss ratio, right? So of course you're going to have some losses in there and so on and so forth. But I'm just trying to share with you guys that for you to go from losing money to actually now making money, it's just really one shift. And as you can see, all this success here that I've had comes from really just using one moving average or a couple of moving averages and the chart and a simple pattern, and you can start to like, oh, there's another win, right? You can start to stack the wins on your side from there. So anyway, traders, I hope this really helped you out. I wanted to do this video for you, to start this video here for you, because I really want you to be thinking about, like, if you've done really bad this year, you've had a really tough year this year, then hopefully some of the things I've said to you has really resonated with you, and hopefully at least gives you some guidance and moving into, okay, well, how do I need to set up my trading through 2025 to make sure I can really flip it to be on the positive side?